A very good morning to all. I, Professor Shashank, welcome all the participants for the awareness webinar on Fundamental of Total Productive Maintenance, which is organized by Sanathana Research and Training Institute, a unit of Sanathana SAMPRATHISHTANA, Mysore, in association with Rotary Club of Mysore-West. Prayer is the process of talking to God in order to achieve a purpose. So let us begin this webinar by seeking the blessing of Lord Almighty. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. Now I request Dr. Ramachandra CG, Managing Director, Sanathana Research and Training Institute, to welcome and introduce the speaker of today's webinar. I also request him to welcome the guests and the participants.
A very good morning, one and all. I take this opportunity on behalf of Sanathana Research and Training Institute, which is an unit of Sanathana SAMPRATHISHTANA, Mysuru, to welcome today's speaker, Dr. P. Sivasankaran, Associate Professor, Manakula, Vinayagar Institute of Technology, Pondicherry, and officials from Rotary Club of Mysore-West and participants from different parts of the country. So let me introduce today's speaker. Dr. P. Sivasankaran has obtained a BE degree in Mechanical Engineering from Pallavan College of Engineering, Kanchipuram, and ME in Industrial Engineering from Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai, and he has obtained his PhD in Industrial Engineering from Anna University in the year 2015, and he is having total 12 years of teaching experience in various cadres, and currently he is working as Associate Professor at Manakula Vinayagar Institute of Technology, Pondicherry. He has published a total of 39 papers in reputed international and national journals. Also, he has presented many papers in international conferences also. And he has granted with 2 patents and 3 design patents, and 2 patents he are filed. He has filed to grant, and he has published books on quality management, process planning and cost estimation, managerial economics and computer integrated manufacturing, automation for excellence, etc. He has organized more than 20 workshops and guest lecturers and recent technological advances in the area of industrial engineering. He is a peer reviewer and editorial member for various reputed international journals. He is a life member of Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering, Mumbai, IING USA, and Teaching and Education Research Association, Eurasia Research. And also he is proficient in softwares like design for assembly, AutoCAD, Robotic, etc. And even he has guided various academic projects for UG and PG students, and he is regularly applying for projects, seminar, grants, FDPs, HTTPS, under various schemes of DST, CSIR, NS and TM and ASCTE, etc. He has received 2 academic excellence awards. He has carried out a novelty research and work titled Comparison of Jute and Sisal Fiber Reinforced Composites using Crust PCB with the support of C Intel Services Chennai. He has actively participated in various faculty development programs, national and international workshops at various institutions. He has delivered guest lectures at the institution level as well as the other reputed industries on the topics related to software applications and other industrial engineering areas. So this is his brief introduction. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. So that's why never stop learning. When we stop learning, then we stop growing. So learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking, and thinking provides knowledge. So knowledge makes you great. So the knowledge is divine, knowledge is powerful, and it should be shared. So this is one of this platform which is created to share the knowledge. And coming to today's topic, the total productive maintenance, it's a method to achieve maximum equipment effectiveness through the employee involvement. So it involves the management, operators, and including the maintenance people. The main goal of the total productive maintenance program is to markedly increase production while at the same time increasing employee morale and job satisfaction also. So some of the important objectives of this total productive maintenance, if we talk about, to reduce the accidents in the industry, increase ownership among the employee, and sharing of experience and knowledge, optimized work schedules of every employee, efficient workforce to avoid wastage, enhanced employee skills, production of goods without compromising on its quality, and non-defective goods to be sent to the customer market, producing goods at the earliest possible time with zero breakdown, involving people in all organization levels, and rectifying customer complaints, and keeping the workforce clean and safe. And even if we consider the 9 essentials of this total productive maintenance, it is a self-maintained workplace and elimination of the 6 big losses, the industrial losses, and zero breakdowns, zero defects, optimal life and availability of tools, self-improvement, and short production development time and low machine life cost, productivity in indirect departments, and zero accidents. And if you talk about the main targets of this total productive maintenance, to obtain a minimum 90% of overall equipment effectiveness, they run the machines every even during lunch, that is lunch is for operator, not for the machines, and operate in a manner so that there are no customer complaints, and reduce the manufacturing cost by up to 30%, and achieve 100% success in delivering the goods as required by the customer, and maintain an accident-free environment as a whole, the plant, increase the suggestions from the workers, employees by 3 times, that is develop multi-skilled and flexible workers. So today's webinar, fundamentals of the total productive maintenance. So 5 sessions we have planned. Today only you'll speak about the fundamentals. The few more, the 4 sessions he'll going to give some deeper knowledge about this TPM with the case studies and all. So with this, I wish all the participants will have a fruitful interaction with the speaker. Once again, thank you one and all. Over to you, Shashank.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. P. Sivasankaran, Associate Professor, Manakula Vinayagar Institute of Technology, Pondicherry, to start this session.
So very good morning, one and all present here. So let me introduce about myself. I am Dr. P. Sivasankaran, currently working as Associate Professor at the Department of Mechanical Engineering from Manakula Institute of Technology, Pondicherry. First of all, I thank the program, the director, Dr. Ramachandra CG sir, for giving me the opportunity to share my view on the basic fundamentals of total productive maintenance, an initial introductory session for today's program. So our agenda will be like knowing what are the objectives of the total productive maintenance, then the basic introduction of total productive maintenance, and what are the pillars, that is nothing but different phases of total productive maintenance. So here we are going to discuss about the 8 pillars of total productive maintenance, then followed by importance of TPM, then procedure, what are the guidelines, procedural guidelines for implementing total productive maintenance in real practical environment, say working organization. Then a case study of TPM how to monitor the maintenance of the lab equipments in technical institutions. So then finally, as a closing remark, the conclusion about the full view of the total productive maintenance. So in this way, we are going to follow the different the agendas one after the other. So first, let us understand what are the goals of TPM, that is the basic objectives of total productive maintenance. So during the introduction session, so the director has said that the TPM aims for eliminating the defects by reducing the wastage cost, right? So minimizing the cost, that is the first and primary objective before going to implement the concept total productive maintenance in real practice. So every worker as well as the team leader, so they have to understand what are the possible way to reduce the rejection or defects that may add in the equipment in every day-to-day production, right? So according to the industry, the point of view, so every equipment should be maintained at the top level, okay, with the zero defects. So by considering that as a goal, so we need to minimize the scrap cost or the rejection cost due to the break time caused by the machineries. So we want to reduce the breakdown time, repair time, okay, by continuously engaging the equipment for a long work cycle. So next objective, reliability. So by reducing the rejection cost, so we can able to improve the long usage of the equipment, that is reliability. Okay. So here in reliability engineering, so we can machinery in a particular time period, right? So here also we can do lot of the research in reliability engineering, particularly in maintenance side. So we can able to take a sample of data. So in a particular month, how many number of times the so-called machineries is said to be failure or downtime, collect the frequency of past historical data, and based on which we can able to measure the reliability of the equipment, whether it is good or bad, okay, depending on the number of failure incidents in the past. And also reducing the accidents. The TPM aims for reducing the accidents by increasing more safety, both with respect to the human being and also the machineries, right? So then the next thing, increasing the responsibility in terms of ownership among every employee. According to the TPM culture, here every factory layman is highly responsible enough to solve the problem that may arise every day inside the shop floor. So not only the team leader, along with the team leader, the subordinates, everybody are equally responsible enough. So that's why TPM empowers the total employee involvement. The other side or other dimension for TPM, we can say it's a total employee involvement. So the TPM is not like a conventional method of practice, whereas in conventional manufacturing system, a leader will give the responsibility to some other person. Okay, so he will act only as a management representative. So subordinates has to do all kind of physical stuff, but in TPM it is not like that. So leader is also having an equal responsibility as equivalent to subordinates. So everybody are questionable according to the TPM culture if anything is not executed according to the correct plan, right? So now let us understand the conceptual, the basic definition of total productive maintenance system in connection to the objectives of TPM, right? So TPM means which is fully focused on condition monitoring of equipment maintenance. So this concept is applied for reconditioning or increasing the performance efficiency of the equipment maintenance by replacing the faulty sub-assemblies or parts that are found in the machinery which is not working in a better way, right? So we want to improve the overall equipment effectiveness. So that is a major thing to be focused in TPM, right? So improving the safety efficiency under various levels. Okay, that is the best practices. The TPM encourages all employees within the organization. So thereby we can able to minimize the unavoidable delays, that is unwanted delays, and also the repair time when a manufacturing process is going on in real time, right? So that whatever the planned actions or ideas as proposed by the team leader and also the subordinates, so everything can be carried out without any flaw if TPM is successfully implemented in a practical scenario, right? So there won't be any delays or lot of rejections if all the members of the team are properly educated, trained by knowing what is the TPM culture, right? And also it improves the employee work ethics, the TPM. So because unity and integrity, it mainly teaches about unity and integrity about every people. So they should know what is their primary job responsibility and what for they are working. So what will be the outcome of TPM for the entire organization and also for every individual, the personal career growth. Okay, right? So that indirectly improves the employee work culture as a lot, right? So the next phase of the discussion, we will get into the problem introduction after the concept definition of TPM. Right. So further in-depth meaning of TPM can be different, can be explained in a different way, right? So here it is nothing but a total integration of both equipment maintenance and also the physical, the manufacturing process, right? So if we able to keep all the tools, equipments and machineries are in good serviceable condition, so the manufacturing process which are yet to be planned to be executed in the corresponding machinery, so that will also be in a much better way without any errors. So the TPM aims for overall improvement of the business strategy by increasing the equipment availability, okay, in the regular production hours, right? So not only that, the TPM is said to be a proactive approach. So what do you mean by the proactive approach? So the conventional maintenance practice, let us say breakdown maintenance. So that is not a proactive approach, because only when the failure comes, people will rush up to the working environment and they will analyze and discuss what the root cause for the failure that is encountered by the mission, that has been encountered in the mission. But in proactive maintenance, it is not like that. So every day, in every minute, people will be focused towards the performance efficiency of the machineries, production machine tools. So systematic thinking, well developed the procedures. So that makes a TPM as a proactive approach, right? So it embraces people management and also working environment and thorough guidelines, very clear managerial guidelines, that is systematic guidelines or procedures. So that makes a TPM as a proactive approach in real time, right? So the organization which has already implemented the TPM concept, so the entire team members have plays an essential role between the operators and also the senior next level management maintenance experts, right? So you take a particular industry which has been excellent in TPM for more than 5 or 10 years. So in that particular industry, every team member are highly responsible for even a small error, both operator level and also the senior expert level, okay, in order to sort out the problem. So the continuation of introduction given in the following slide. So the process of TPM tries to self-educate through inner motivation, okay, self-motivation of operators to know the basic knowledge about how TPM can be implemented for an effective mission maintenance by reducing the cycle time, by completing the work progress within a short span of time, okay, by eliminating team bonding activities in order to increase the equipment performance as a paramount importance nowadays. So it is not a single man job, TPM, right? So it is considered to be team bonding activities, right? Employees, subordinates, as well as the top level people, all are equally playing a role in uplifting the performance of the equipment, okay, in order to complete the different batch of jobs exactly on the stipulated time period, so without losing the customers the satisfaction. So it is a rigorous system. We need to follow a very strict rigorous system in order to educate the TPM culture every day within the employee mindset. So even if you fail to follow and one day, the next day it will be a bottleneck for everybody. So it should become a regular practice in everyday work environment, right? So here are some of the key features that are listed about the total productive maintenance. So the first one, so cross-functional teams, it involves employee at the various cross-functional team, the people from different department, domain knowledge. For example, you take people from manufacturing, maintenance, stores, the purchase department, they can interface themselves, they can support each other, okay, so to know about the in and out of total predictive maintenance. These are the different people who involve in the TPM culture, right? So next thing, TPM aims for participation, autonomous participation, okay, right? So every operator is responsible for their own job responsibilities, right? So whereas in conventional maintenance system, they have to wait for the superior order, but here in TPM, an operator can able to sort out the problem on their own without seeking the guidance of the TPM, the leader, right? So it entertains the autonomous maintenance, autonomous participation of an operator as per the daily routine schedule, and also forming of small group activities to monitor the procedural, the guidelines of TPM. If any the points that are missed, not understood by the team members very thoroughly, then the procedures have to be regularized every now and then, okay, with the fine revision, and that has to be given as a vital importance through the organization by publishing in a magazine or in a company notice board, okay, or within the shop floor system by adopting a display board or a name board system, such that they have to follow all the rules and regulations as per the guidelines of TPM. Then maximize the effective use of the equipment by reducing the number of the breakdown time, right? So by minimizing the minor repairs, maintenance, by efficient cleaning and inspection procedures. So these are the key features of the total predictive maintenance. get the workshop, the different modules of the total productive maintenance. Practical skills, and also it try to self-empower the employees through inner motivation, right? And at last, we can able to bring the ownership of operator for every equipment, right? So make sure that every day the maintenance of the equipment is properly lubricated and cleaned up, right? The next thing, identify the upcoming issues. So the operator has to predict well here in autonomous maintenance, the maintenance crew, the team member, is highly flexible enough to handle any kind of the task at any time interval. There is no standard the time followed. So the employees are more free enough to address the failure issues or any problem that are faced in the shop floor at various time intervals. Okay. The next, the second pillar of the TPM, that is phase number 2, focused improvement. We can say continuous improvement, right? So this is the next pillar that we are going to see under the TPM. So in continuous improvement, here we can have more than one multifunctional, that is cross-functional team. So we can connect two different the cross-functional team. For example, if any particular the failure takes place in a mission, for example, say a gearbox is not functioning properly due to inappropriate maintenance, due to frequent wear and tear. So the people from manufacturing department, they can call the maintenance team member. So in order to share the issues, right? So here both the team department people can able to work on concurrent basis, okay, to find out the remedial solution for the problem, right? So thereby we can able to show the consistency in terms of continuous improvement by controlling the regularly occurring problems through the aid of cross-functional team members. The next one, the third pillar we are going to discuss now is about the quality management, right? So here there are a lot of descriptive tools and also the quantitative tools are available in quality management. So here we can able to identify the variations in the defects that can be in the process, in the production process, and also variation. We can also study the variation in the machineries using fishbone diagram or a Pareto chart. These are some of the descriptive, the statistical tool in quality management. If we want to do some numerical analysis like X bar and R chart, so variable chart or using attribute chart, okay, these are the quantitative method of the assessing the process quality in understanding the defects. So based on that, we can make a try to reduce the number of defects by targeting the quality issues, okay, by knowing the root cause for the various problems. So these are the responsibilities or the functional responsibilities that are focused here in quality management problem in both machineries and also with reference to the skill of the worker who is going to use the equipment and other gadgets. Okay. Then the fourth pillar of total productive maintenance, so plant maintenance, it can be otherwise called as a scheduled maintenance. Okay, so that is nothing but predicting the probability of the occurrence of failure well in advance, right? So using some modern, here we can recommend some modern technologies like IoT, deep learning or machine learning technologies that can be applied in shop floor, in a production shop floor, such that so the sensor can able to predict before the failure arises. So we can able to sense the abnormal behavior of the machineries, right? So that we can able to put a stoppage at the initial level. Okay, so through planned maintenance system. Okay, right? So the next one, the fifth pillar of TPM, proper education and training. So through proper education and training, how we can able to upskill the employees in following the various guidelines of total productive maintenance every day. So as the program director said, empowerment, employee empowerment. So here in this phase, so the education and training, through that, so we can able to motivate the people of the organization by conducting regular workshops, practical forums. Okay, so the managers are highly responsible enough to upskill the team members' knowledge. So they have to coach the employee. So whatever the doubts, the queries raised by the team members, so the middle level, the managers are highly responsible enough to train the subordinates, and the maintenance staff can learn both preventive and proactive maintenance approaches during the training period, and also they can able to manage various the challenges that are faced every day in the shop floor issues. Okay, so which indirectly affects the productivity of the organization. So how to manage the critical situation. Okay, so all this kind of the education and also the practical skill intensive training will be provided in this the platform. It is a pillar 5, education and training. So sixth pillar, yearly equipment management system. So in this phase, so the TPM aims for easy maintainability of equipment. So by simplifying the design aspects, so by simplifying the design aspects of the machineries in terms of the aesthetic good look and the operation, the functionality, so we can able to find out some of the advantages as listed here. So periodical review, the employee using the different employee domain knowledge. So we can go for regular meetings or periodical review. So before installing the TPM on every equipment, in order to make the equipment to be more robust enough, right? So it is easy to reach the planned levels in the performance at a very high, faster rate due to the minimum issues at the startup stage, right? So every person is responsible enough whenever you are going to design a equipment, the sub-assembly, before going for a manufacturing, so we want to go for simplification of the design procedure. So using various the fundamental concepts like a DFM, design for manufacturing and assembly. So with the help of that, so we can able to simplify the product, the machine design, and also the manufacturability of the entire machine component, such that so we can, that helps the member to maintain the entire machine in a very better way. Okay, so that we can able to minimize the issues at the initial level itself. Then last but one, pillar number 7. So office TPM, how total productive maintenance can be implemented in both administrative function and the office level. Okay, right? So this is the next pillar we are going to discuss here. It aims for administrative functions like planning and scheduling, procurement and ordering of materials and other data. So these are the primary functional area, the administrative functions, where we can able to go for implementation of total predictive maintenance concept. So simple example, I can say that inventory management system. So when you are going for buying a new raw material, what is the release date for purchasing the raw material from the vendor, and which date you are going to receive the raw material from supplier back to the manufacturer. So these data you must have ready-madely in hand. So whenever any higher authority wants for verification back reference, so you have to keep a file management, a file records. So right, so that will be easy for us to narrow down the different issues. Okay, and also minimizing the waste in the both in inventory and also in administrative office administrative functions. Let us say, for example, if you want to know the PF which is maintained by the office people under administrative function, so you can maintain a separate ERP, enterprise resource planning software. So employee details and also other the salary, the payroll system, we can maintain it separately. So whenever any the subordinate or even higher authority, they want to know the PF deduction, so that can be taken as a report, an automatic computer generated report, and that will be given as a reference for the next level authority. Okay, right? So we want to maintain the data on time, readily available on time. If you don't have any back data, it is merely a waste of time in administrative functions. So the administrative functions will not be much effective, more unique. It will not be more unique, right? So in this way, we can follow the total productive maintenance for empowering the administrative function and office procedures. Then last one, eighth pillar, occupational health and safety, which involves environmental conditions also, right? So here, every employee must be taken much care by the company management in order to minimize the risk of employee whoever working in more hazardous environment. Let us say, for example, a welding environment or borewell inspection, right? So these are some of the hazardous places, right? So we want to educate the safety procedures, the employee who are following every day, right? So without any safety principles, the employee should not be put into work, because that will seriously affect the life of the employee at the end outcome, at the end of the day. So it is the responsibility of the company management to highly educate the people to follow the strict safety procedure in order to work in a risk-free manner. Okay, right? So these are the 8 pillars that are listed in the total predictive maintenance system. Now coming to the procedure. So these are the 5 steps that are applicable to any the manufacturing sectors, the total productive maintenance. So before going to share your plan to the lower level people, first thing, clarity in the vision, the objective. Okay, so the people, the management people, they themselves should have a clear vision, direction, proper direction they must have. Okay, only then it is easy for them to share their own ideas or plans with the entire support of the organization, starting from middle level and the lower level management people. Okay, so if the objective is good, but the direction is not clearly meted out to middle level and the low level people, so there is no use in implementing the total productive maintenance. You must have a strong vision and a proper direction as a top management people. Okay, then identify the suitable systems, that is suitable work culture, okay, in order to improve not only the machineries and process, including the human attitude. Okay, so as I already told you that TPM aims for total employee involvement culture. So man is also an important subset in TPM. So along with the machineries and production process. So we want to identify a common procedure. Okay, so to improve all the entities within the organization. Then getting the equipment to make it work in top optimal conditions by measuring the overall equipment effectiveness. So this I can explain in a case study, the concept of overall equipment effectiveness. Then last one, identify the major losses that is occurring repeatedly in every time. So these are the 5 major steps, the common procedure to be adopted as a TPM organization. Right. So now we are moving to the practical, the case study. So this case study has been conducted in a Tamil Nadu Engineering College in South region, right? Higher learning technical institution. So what are the challenges faced by the laboratory, the people who are working in the laboratories as a lab staff, the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and what the changes before implementing TPM and after implementing TPM, and how the overall equipment effectiveness can be compared with the world-class manufacturing standard. So because according to the world-class manufacturing standard, the concept of overall equipment effectiveness, they have given 85% as a minimum, the criteria, the threshold limit for in order to have a very good machine maintenance, right? So that is the marginal, the break-even point according to the world-class, the standard, the data. So, but here in this case study, we are going to discuss what is the actual observed overall equipment effectiveness, the percentage utilization of the machinery. So this can be calculated by using the formula. The overall equipment effectiveness is equal to the availability of the machine, quality rate, and depending on the rejection rate. Okay, right? So based on which we can able to find out the overall equipment effectiveness for every machine. So normal thing is, if it is 70% or 75, it's quite marginally good. If it is below, if OE percentage is below 75, then it is quite very low reliable equipment. So care should be taken to improve the reliability, the characteristics of the equipment very seriously. So this is the concept of overall equipment effectiveness. Now we will get into the case study. So in this segment, so the attempt has been made to conduct an investigation on lab equipment maintenance by following the TPM strategy. So the maintenance study was carried out in a technical institution that is situated in South Tamil Nadu region. So here the focused study is conducted in the Department of Mechanical Engineering laboratories, namely the following labs like Production Technology Lab, Metrology and Instrumentation Lab, and Material Testing and Metallurgy Lab. So these are the 4 labs that has been taken as a study for the primary focus. The case study continues in the next, the following slide. So the first thing, the specific work is carried out for the Production Technology Lab using 5S and the scheduled maintenance strategy. So these are the procedures they adapted. So this data is taken for the 1 month, the time period. Okay, the procedure is as well as the data, the numerical data, which is given in the next following slide. This is for 1 month scheduled time period. So these are the standard, the procedures that are given. So point 1, first thing, identify the non-value added items that are found in the place. Okay, so we want to sort out by removing that. We need to sort out as per the proper order by keeping all the materials, tools and equipment and the correct sequence with the proper name label for every tools and equipments for easy accessibility. The next thing, clean the machines daily in morning, afternoon, and also evening, right? 3 times in a day, right? Then standardize the work procedure in order to minimize the throughput time. Then at last, improve the sustainability of the machine, that is the reliability of the machine, by maximizing the performance efficiency. So this is the procedure that is followed in the production technology lab, and the data that has been taken here. So this is before implementing DPM and after implementing DPM. See the downtime, runtime, mission availability, performance efficiency, quality rate. Okay, so then OEE percentage. Okay, the total, the OEE percentage value before implementing DPM and after implementing DPM. So now we want to compare this, the 60.48%, the actual observed value, with against the world class standard data. So they claimed that 85%, the world class standard for manufacturing equipment. So it was said to be 85%. Okay, so this is the break-even point, but here it is far below the actual observed value. The overall equipment effectiveness is far below 60.48%. So what are the significant difference? What that has been listed here? Lack of technical support team. So the lab attenders are not properly educated enough to understand the basics of TPM, the process management guidelines, and lack of awareness, right? Then poor implementation procedures. It has not been practiced daily. Okay, so these are the problems that are addressed in the case study. Now, before winding up the session, I just want to conclude all the points in a nutshell. So first, we have started the introduction, that is objectives of TPM and concept of TPM, what is what, and what are the various pillars of TPM, followed by the procedures and a small case study, implementation of TPM and laboratory equipment setup. So now with this, I conclude the entire view of TPM, the fundamentals regarding today's program. So the effectiveness of the TPM implementation that lies within the human workers. So attitude, the attitude of the employee is more important. Okay, right? So if you change the attitude in a right way, so we can able to stay highly competitive by remaining more professional in our duty, by staying robust in the global competitive market environment. Okay, so TPM should be taken as a philosophy, right, both in profession and also in the personal life, not only for the manufacturing system, even for the personal life, that is more important. Okay, so therefore the TPM is considered to be a best competitive strategy that is followed in the today's manufacturing organization. So we want to update all the modern technologies along with the fundamental, the concepts of TPM. So in the pillars, I told you the quality management and yearly equipment maintenance management. I told you about some of the latest techniques like IoT, Internet of Things, deep learning, machine learning, and so on. So these are technologies to be taught to the operator, layman. So they should also get educated and they can able to sort out the problem within the short span of time. So the further delay in the mission breakdown that can be stopped to a greater extent. So with this, I end my the technical talk about the fundamentals of TPM. So the further session 2 the extension of TPM will be continued in some other occasion in future. So I thank all the participants for your the patience listening, and also I thank the program, the coordinator and the program director for giving me the opportunity to share my views to the external society about the total productive maintenance system to various people who are working in educational setup, industries. Okay, so thank you one and all present here. If you have any queries, please share it in the chat box. So once again, I thank one and all.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful and informative session. Now, the participants can ask questions or interact with the speaker by unmuting themselves. The provision is given to you.
Hello.
Sir,
Thank you, Professor, for your very informative session on TPM.
thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a query whether this TPM can work individually or it is you can use it in association with the other maintenance systems.
As I already told during the time of the lecture, so the TPM aims for even in education institution also. If we are working in a mechanical, so right, so cross-functional department, so it will also help to maintain the educational standards. Okay, starting from the classroom teaching, preparing the documents for the NBA, NAC. So there also we can able to implement effectively the TPM culture in education system. So it is a totally a team environment. It is not alone only for the individual within the department, between different department also it can be worked out. But we have to bring all the mindset, different mindset of the people into a uniform, synchronized manner. That is the big challenge. So with respect to the human kind. So that is a real challenge.
In an industry, we may have say preventive maintenance or we may have a predictive maintenance, different maintenance systems. Can we use this TPM in conjunction with that or separately?
Actually, earlier it was called as a predictive preventive maintenance. As a modern terminology, this name has been changed now today as TPM, total productive maintenance. Right. So likewise, same like a quality management, it was quality control those days. Later, quality control was taken as total quality control. Name has been changed. Now we are used to call as TQM, total quality management. Likewise, day by day. So these terminologies have been coined, but the principles, fundamentals are same. The origin came from predictive maintenance, TPM, preventive maintenance only.
So we have a TQM, sir, TQM, Lean, we have Six Sigma. All these, whether these are interlinked with the TPM or?
Yes, exactly. If you follow TPM efficiently, Lean aims for wastage minimization. So if you monitor the machine maintenance every day properly, we can able to reduce the wastage due to the unwanted waiting time, that is a breakdown time of the machine. So we can able to improve the productivity by instead of having lot of shutdowns, production shutdowns due to long repair time. So Lean is indirectly connected with the TPM.
You told about OE, no, sir. OE is a function of
overall equipment effectiveness.
It is a function of availability, performance, as well as quality.
Quality rate.
In Indian context, I think quality doesn't even 99% quality. Almost all times we may able to get, but other two in Indian industrial context, which are contributing to the, which is contributing to the lower OE values in your vision, opinion, sir.
So the main thing to have a lawyer in why people are not following the overall equipment effectiveness culture, the concept in TPM. So the problem is the time management between every shift. Okay. Then next thing, the lack of poor knowledge about the several the guidelines that has been proposed by the industries from the top level. The mistake is from the top level. The people have to clearly tell them how OE should be practically implemented in order to aim for so and so percentage, more than 75%. So per day, at least minimum 4 or 5 times we want to do the cleaning lubrication process. So only then we can able to take much care enough to improve the high OEE percentage. I can take a simple example, educational institution, JPR group in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai. Okay, so Panimalar Engineering College. So they are the best example even for maintaining the lab equipment, even restrooms, classrooms. So per day they used to maintain the cleaning process. So nearly four times. The morning 2 times and the evening 2 times, right? So that is why. So they are excelling in the facilities and also in other aspects. So this is one of the simple example. Just I can share myself because I went as an external examiner in the year 2014 for a practical lab. So I really admire to see such an institution. It is maintained very neat and very clean in all the places, administrative blocks, even the classrooms are well organized, right? So they follow a very effective procedure.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
If anybody is having any questions or clarifications, you can unmute yourself and you can speak to the speak with the speaker. Shashank, we can proceed.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Ramachandra CG, Managing Director, Sanathana Research and Training Institute, to summarize today's webinar.
Well, first of all, let me thank today's speaker, Dr. P. Sivasankaran, for his excellent presentation on fundamentals of total productive maintenance. So in his presentation, and he has given the brief introduction about the total productive maintenance, and as well as the important objectives of this total productive maintenance, and what are all the different phases, like the 8 pillars of total productive maintenance. He has in detail discussed with us, like autonomous maintenance, the pillar 1, pillar 2, like the focused improvement, and pillar 3, quality management, and pillar 4, planned maintenance or scheduled maintenance, and pillar 5, education and training to employees, and 6th pillar is early equipment management, 7th one is administrative and office TPM, as well as the 8th pillar, safety, health and environmental conditions. So in detail with various examples, he has discussed what is the main role of these pillars of the TPM. And at the end of his session, he has taken one case study in the laboratory. Case study has taken, and before and after implementation of TPM, what are the changes? So it has the changes he has obtained, that also he has mentioned. So, and he has concluded also at the end of his case study. So the total productive maintenance, as the name itself implies, Okay, the involvement of each and every stakeholder of the entire organization. So not only the employees or the shop floor person who is involved in the with the machine, even middle level management as well as the higher level management also. So they should also be involved in the entire the maintenance of the entire the plant, and depending upon the existing system, so they can adopt any one of this the pillar, and they can improve the overall equipment efficiency of the overall the plant. And this is what he has explained today. Is the 4 more sessions, so we'll have various case studies of industrial perspective. So once again, I thank everyone, all the participants for your participation for today's session. So once again, I thank everyone. So over to you, Shashank.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the essence of humanity. I thank Dr. P. Sivasankaran, Associate Professor, Manakula Vinayagar Institute of Technology, Pondicherry, for accepting our request to be the resource person of today's webinar and also for delivering a very informative session. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Ramachandra CG, Managing Trustee, Sanathana Research and Training Institute, a unit of Sanathana SAMPRATHISHTANA, Mysuru, and officials from Rotary Club of Mysore-West for their involvement in organizing this webinar. I also thank Sri Lokesh CG, President, Dr. Raghavendra Prasad, MD, Dr. Shantaraj Aras, and Srimati Bhagya Gopal, Board of Trustees, Sanatana Samprathishtana, for their support extended in organizing this webinar. Finally, I thank all the participants for your support and active participation in this webinar. Thank you, one and all.